Okay, before I start with the tutorial, I just want to make sure that the microphone is in 100%. So I go to system preferences and sound, and make sure that the input is in 100%, and yeah, it's done. So in this tutorial, the main point is we want to teach them how to do ligation, simulation of ligation with SnapGene, how to look to understand the map of the plasmid, and also how to do a digestion. So the first thing about ligation, so they have to start with the amplified gene that has an overhang A. So in this example, I use LCA1 gene with A overhang that was generated from the previous tutorial. And then to clone this or to insert this into a plasmid, I'm gonna go to actions and then select TA or GC cloning, and then select TA cloning, and then new window will appear, and then in this new window you can see the insert and then the size of the insert. And then this is when things getting complicated and confusing for student. So when we switch to a plasmid by clicking linearized factor up here, to select for the plasmid, we have a lot of choices in this in the right side of the window. So in this example, I'm going to use PGMT Easy. I don't know if this is a good idea, but there is another option, Topo TA, for example. This is another TA cloning factor, but I'm just going to go with PGMT Easy. So I'm going to click on that. So after I click on PGMT Easy, this linear map of the linearized factors it appears over here. It tells you the size of the plasmid. We also have the size of the linearized plasmid over here. So this is where students sometimes get confused. They don't know where to find the size of the plasmid, and then this is this is the size of the plasmid, this is the size of the insert, and then if you combine them two, this is the size of the product. Sometimes they just, I don't know, confused about all this. Another thing that is confusing for students is that once they got this linear plasmid, they don't know where to find the multiple cloning site. So uh, if they ask me that question, hey Alfredo, where's multiple cloning site, I just ask them to go to sequence mode, and then I ask them back, what is the characteristic of multiple cloning sites? Oh, it has a lot of restriction enzymes. So you have to look at the region that has a lot of restriction enzyme sites, and then if they still don't understand, I ask them to, like, scroll it down, and then you can see, sorry, down here in this ORI, there is no restriction enzyme site. There are couples, but there's not a lot. But if you scroll it up here, you can see that there is a lot of restriction enzyme sites. So this is a good indication that LAC region is where the multiple cloning site is. Yeah, so once they have this, if the ligation is successful, this is the product that they have, and then they just rename their file. So cloned LCI1 gene, and then select clone. Now they have the map of the plasmid. So if they look at this and then they want to know what is the detail of each of these features, they can again go to features, and then it tells you everything, like MCS, where it is, LAC gene, the product of Ligation, all that information is here. So they can also look this map in a horizontal view like this, and they can switch it back to circular view by clicking this window, this feature over here. And also they can hide the restriction enzyme sites. So this is another important thing. If they want to show certain restriction enzyme, for example, if they just want to show NCO1 and SPE, for example, they can customize it. So to do that, go to top left corner and then click on this arrow, and then it gives you this window, and then select choose enzymes. And then here first of all, I have to clean up the box on the right side, so I'm going to remove all, and then I'm going to select the enzymes that I want to put it in. So for example, I'm going to put NCO and then click add, and then SPE1 add, and then once I do that, make sure that you remember the name up here. So the name of this file is unsafe enzyme sat2, and then hit OK. And then now all the enzyme is gone except NCO and SPE. So that's another important thing. Okay, so the third one, now how to use the SnapGene to perform digestion. So to digest this plasmid, go to Tools, and then click Simulate Agarose Gel, and then now this new window will come out. So we have an Agarose gel here, and then this is the detailed information about this Agarose gel in terms of the size. On the right side we have the map of the plasmid, so I'm going to show all the restriction enzyme back here. So I hide it. Maybe to do that, I'm just going to click on this and then select all commercial or unique cutters. I think unique cutters is better. So unique cutters, now they are all in here. Okay, to do a digestion, first in this lane you can select the molecular weight marker. So to select the molecular weight marker, click on MWW, click on that, and then you can select the molecular weight marker. In the lab they use 1 kb letter, but for my section I normally use 2 log letter, so I'm going to use 2 log. Here they can also adjust the concentration of agarose gel, so here I'm just going to keep it 1%. So we're done with the molecular weight marker. Now let's move to lane number 1. In lane number 1, let's say I'm going to digest cloned LCA1 gene with NCO, and then I'm just typing in NCO. If that restriction sites is there in the plasmid, you will be able to see that. I mean, you should be able to type it in here. If the restriction enzyme is not there, for example, if you have BAMH1, it's not there. If you type it in, it gives you red color and then it says non-cutter. Okay, so I'm going to digest it with NCO. So since NCO only has one side, it gives you one band. Now I'm going to click on lane number 2, and then again I'm going to select the file that I'm going to cut. In this case I'm going to again cut cloned LCA1 gene, but I'm gonna cut it with 2 different enzymes. First one is NCO, and then the second one is SPE1. So as you can see, if you cut it with these two enzymes, this is the product that we have. So normally I use this mode to explain to students. So I ask them question, for example, okay, if we cut these enzymes with NCO and SPE, how many fragments that we will have in the Agarose gel, and then they don't know, they get confused. So it's like, okay, if you use SnapGene, you can actually predict that. So if you put the name of the restriction enzymes here, and then if you look at the bands, if you click on the bands, it tells you the location of that particular band on the map. So band number 1, it corresponding to this region, and band number 2 is that region. So it means that, you know, I mean, you have two bands over here, and then you can even see the location of the enzyme. So if you have one side of NCO over here and then one side of SPE over here, it split up this circular plasmid into two. The smaller band is corresponding to this part of the plasmid, and then the bigger band is corresponding to that part of the plasmid. And then once you have this on this other side, it also tells you the size, so you can also look at this side, and then you can export the gel image over here. So to do that, I'm going to click on copy or export gel data, and then export gel image, and then here you can select your format, either PNG or PDF. It should be fine. So I'm gonna go with PDF, and then I'm going to put it in desktop and save it. And then let's say go to the desktop and open it. I can see that it is here. It's like that. So SnapGene is really cool. Okay, I think that's it.